Twitter is a powerful tool for scientists communicating their work. An informative and clear tweet about your conference presentation, some latest findings, or a recent publication has a lot of advantages, some of which are discussed in the journal Conservation Biology. Using Twitter, scientists can share their work with the general public, other scientists, with journalists, and decision makers. Composing a tweetable abstract, which is basically a condensed version of your scientific publication or your conference talk, can also be really useful for conference organizers and scientific journals. So what goes into creating a successful tweetable abstract? There are really three things to consider. The first is content, second are hashtags, and the third is authorship. First, let's talk about the content. A tweetable abstract should clearly and concisely summarize your study. There are various ways of doing this. For example, you could start with a leading question, and if you have space in the tweet, you could answer that leading question, like this tweet does. Can deforestation bans cause forest land to be spared as cropland area triples? And then they answer it saying, yes, in Costa Rica, the ban worked best on farmers. Or you could state a significant finding, like in this tweet. We surveyed mammals in coffee landscapes and found that shade coffee, though not a substitute for native forests, provides critical habitat. The important thing is to keep it short and sweet. Try to distill your publication or your talk into a single concise message. This is because the major restraint of Twitter is the 140-character limit. So try to replace any long technical terms that you want to use with shorter, more simple ones. And you can also use symbols and abbreviations whenever you think is appropriate in order to cut down on that character count. Second essential tweet component, hashtags. These are ways to extend the reach of your tweet and group it with others. Every time you put a pound or hash key in front of a word, Twitter will tag and link that word, which is now a hashtag, and group it with all the other tweets that use the same hashtagged word. So grouping these tweets with others is really important and really useful for conferences where a lot of people are tweeting about the same general topic. And actually a lot of conferences will formally publicize a conference-wide hashtag to use, which makes it really easy for attendees to communicate with each other and a great way for people to keep up with what's being tweeted at the conference. You can also turn buzzwords in your tweet's content into hashtags, making your message more visible to people interested in those specific topics. For example, M. Fagan's tweet, which we previously mentioned, could have hashtags added to the words deforestation and Costa Rica, making the message accessible to people searching those terms. Hashtags can also provide context and inject a little bit of humor into tweets if you're comfortable with it, like with these tweets from the journal Conservation Biology's Twitter account. Tibetan Buddhist monasteries play an important role in snow leopard conservation. Hashtag thanks Buddha, hashtag sincerely snow leopards. Last but not least, authorship. This is a really important aspect of the whole process. If you're on Twitter already, include your handle in your tweetable abstract that you're submitting to a conference or a journal. This way, people can reach out to you when they see the tweet about your work. They can ask questions, they can initiate conversation. After all, this is the whole point of Twitter. And if you're not already on Twitter, just include your name and any other information you want shared in your tweetable abstract that you're submitting, and then go to Twitter and sign up and start tweeting. So by including these tips from the three main aspects of what to include in a tweetable abstract, hopefully you guys are now more able to communicate your science to a broader audience if you weren't already. Thanks so much for watching, and happy tweeting.